Doing?
Better.
Well, everybody, thanks for coming. 2 in the morning, it's not bad. We will do a video conference with you guys. We will be on streaming. We will ask you the questions in English first. I will try to translate it into Spanish. Then we will do, if you want, some French questions, and we will try to understand some Hungarian questions as well, if you want, at the end of the video conference. All right?
All right.
Well, Konrad Coleman, Nandorfa, welcome again. Let me start with the first question for both of you. What is the best of having finished this race?
What's the best about finishing? Finishing. that the big adventure that we embarked on. It's the only thing that's capsized in 110 days. So. Yeah, we set out to have a huge adventure. We did. We got home. We're safe, and now we're in front of all of you guys, and it's fantastic. So the best part is that we finished what we started to do.
So that was our deepest wish. To finish the race when we were here, and with the press conference before the start. I felt there's one objective, to come back here, finishing the race officially. And we made a lot of fight for, because that was not so obvious. The trip was not easy because of the weather, because of our problems with ourselves, with the boat. But we worked very well, very hard, and we worked perfectly like a team with this young man. And finally, we could finish. Maybe the time we have performed is not that what I wanted. I wanted to be within the 100 days, but we lost so many days in different weather problems. Which we could not avoid at all. We ran into a couple of days of windless areas. We ran into a 1 week upwind
In the Indian Ocean.
and the Indian Ocean and the South Indian. A lot of unexpected things, and I don't think so. The time we performed can show that kind of performance we have done on the boat. And of course, that was maybe a little bit cheeky from me and from us to go to the starting line with a boat which is just finished, launched, and we had no time for making trainings. We had no time for a correct preparation. Our sail assortment was not perfect. We had some sails which was missing, and this kind of problems came out. Meantime, we paid the price of all of these legs, but at last we were over all of these problems, and our deepest wish to come back in the race, to finish the race, that happened this evening. And also this day was quite difficult because in the last days our progress was very slow, and today at last we had wind, and we were very happy, and we started celebrating. We are in the evening at daylight we come in because it's fantastic. And one moment the other moment we ran out of the wind, and we stopped again, and that was a terrible feeling for both of us. Konrad was completely lost himself. He didn't know where he is. Me too, but I didn't show so much. That was the deepest point maybe in the last weeks. And the nicest when the wind came back at last close to the airport. We were watching the airplanes for a while. And at last came a new wind, and we could come. And when we have seen the first boat to come, that was a fantastic feeling. So that time we felt we have done. And when we passed the line, we have seen the boat, we have seen the W water. I said, oh, we are here. It's fantastic. So, fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, a little translation. A la pregunta de qué es lo mejor de haber terminado esta vuelta al mundo, Conrad ha sido tajante, ha dicho terminarla. Salimos para una gran aventura y estamos en casa sanos y salvos, así que lo mejor ha sido terminarla. Nandor también ha dicho que quería terminarla y estar aquí, era un objetivo estar aquí, algo que ella dijo en la rueda de prensa antes de salir. Dice, hemos luchado mucho, el viaje no ha sido fácil, hemos tenido muchos problemas meteorológicos, problemas propios, hemos luchado duro. Como equipo hemos trabajado muy bien, sobre todo con este joven hombre que tengo a mi lado, pero el tiempo no ha sido el mejor. Yo quería llegar en menos de 110 días, pero ha habido problemas que no hemos podido superar. Altas presiones, muchas ceñidas, cosas impredecibles. El tiempo, aún así, el tiempo que hemos realizado no demuestra lo mucho que hemos mejorado con este barco. Fue un poco atrevido estar aquí, fue un poco atrevido lanzarse a la salida, llegamos con el tiempo justo, sin mucha preparación, pero al final hemos hecho todo lo posible e incluso hoy ha sido un día muy difícil, pero al final hemos llegado y ha sido maravilloso, ha sido fantástico poder ver el primer barco cuando venían a recibirnos, veros a todos vosotros aquí en el Pantalán, así que muchas gracias porque ha sido fantástico.
Nando, it's been harder than you expected. Do you feel strong enough to sail solo?
It's a good question anyway. This race partly was very important for me to study myself. The boat is okay. I can prepare and make a lot of training and learn, but I was not, at the start, I was not sure. I'm the same Nando like I was 25 years ago. And I wanted to know who I am, how much I am, and can I do in the future now and in the future that kind of recent sailing, which is not the same sailing like I did in the past. I had to realize the boats are different and the way of sailing is different. The speed is much higher and everything is the best word is just different, but a lot of things to learn. And meantime, physically, mentally, on the trade side, on any aspect, I realized, yes, I'm okay, I'm ready for going back for single-handing, and I feel strong enough, and I feel now myself pretty enough for the One Day Globe.
Bueno, Nandorf ha respondido a la pregunta de si ha sido una regata más dura de lo que esperaba y si se siente lo suficientemente fuerte como para navegar solo. Lo que ha dicho es que fue muy importante para él el venir a esta regata y estudiarse a sí mismo. Dice que el barco está bien, que eso es lo importante, y que incluso él al principio no estaba seguro de ser el navegante que era hace 15 años, hace 25 años tampoco. Dice, quería saber dónde estoy ahora, si soy lo suficientemente fuerte. Ya no se navega igual, las cosas han cambiado, ahora se navega mucho más rápido, los barcos son diferentes, hay más velocidad, hay muchas cosas a aprender ahora. Pero bueno, física y mentalmente estoy preparado y me siento fuerte para afrontar una Vendée
Nando, what modifications will your boat suffer? Will you have to change something?
We had a lot of problems with the boat, not because of the boat is problematical, just very small things made very serious problems. At the beginning of the South Oceans, we lost the main halyard, and we were close to it to retire from the race because we could not hoist, and at the beginning we could not drop the mainsail because the upper block was broken and the halyard just sheared the mast tube, and 30 centimeter lower stopped, and no down, no up. And in that time I climbed the mast and cut it off, and we teared off the halyard. And after that we made blocks on the sail, block on the top of the mast. We had to make it somehow. And from that moment we couldn't use the full mainsail, just one reef down, because it was not high enough. That was one of this very serious technical problem which we had to solve. We had a locking system for the mainsail also, which didn't work. The headboard car, which is the lock, at the same time was stuck on the profile, and also we could not take it down and take it up. So that is why we decided to stop in New Zealand to somehow to solve this mainsail problem. And meantime, I realized one of the keel bolt, which is the fixing bolts, was broken. At the beginning, I thought this bolt broken because that was an individual problem with the bolt. And we changed that couple of bolts. In the keel, we have to lift the boat, and we were working on it 2 days. And after that, when we were sailing to the Cape Horn, down on the south, with quite heavy conditions, sometimes we made over 80 knots of average, and that is quite tough life. Only that people knows who has done it. How it works. And in these conditions I realized another keel bolt was broken, and in that time I had to realize that the material is wrong. Something is wrong with the bolt material. It is not that what for I purchased. That is a very special material, but at last something is wrong with it. Still I don't know what. And from that moment, that was more or less 1,000 miles before the Cape Horn. From that moment, we were living with the survival suit and with the grab bag, and ready to leave the boat anytime, because I was pretty sure anytime, any wave, we can lose the boat. If it breaks out, it's end. It tears out a big hole in the boat, and we sink. And meantime, I made a lot of calculations, like the designer of it, and made some drawings, what happens if different situations, and I realized the keel is in safe position when it's canted out completely. And the hydraulic is pushing or pulling into the nest of the shaft, and in that case we cannot lose. So from that moment, that was almost 2 months before, we were sailing with the keel only canted on one side or the other side, and we jibed or tagged. Before that, always I had to control the bolts, the rest of the bolts, still we have or not. And on the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, we lost the second one on the front, and on the same side. From that moment, it was really critical. We were thinking on it to go to Brazil or to go to Falkland first, or where to, we didn't know. But it was really dramatic for me. On the front of the keel, on one side, all the boats were broken. So that was really a terrible feeling. And day by day, hour by hour, minute by minute, I was waiting when I will hear the big crack, and we will lose the keel and we will lose the boat. That was a terrible feeling for me, and I said if I reach the harbor, we finish the race, I will tell a prayer for thanks God to help us to come back. But it was really critical, and in these very, very difficult days, difficult thousands of mileage, Konrad was a fantastic partner for me. For not a single moment he told Nandor we should finish, we should go into a safe port. All the time
Not sure that's a good thing. But
all the time he was partner of it in that to finish the race in any risk, and we had no other option just to come. All the rest of the problems I don't tell you because everything is smaller, but we had problems with the cells and small things. But the main issue was the main cell and the keel, and that was pretty enough. And extremely, I'm proud about ourselves, you and me, to come back with these problems.
Well, bien, la pregunta hacía referencia a qué es lo que había funcionado mal en el barco y qué cambiarían en el barco. Lo voy a resumir un poco lo que ha dicho Konrad. Han tenido principalmente 3 problemas. El primer problema le sobrevino cuando estaban bajando al Atlántico, cuando se les rompió la polea de la driza de la mayor. La driza, al salirse de la polea, hizo un corte en el palo, un corte de 30 centímetros, que les obligó a subir arriba para cortar la driza y cambiarla. Estuvieron navegando pues un tiempo con la mayor sin poder izarla hasta la parte de arriba del palo. Luego el segundo problema que tuvieron importante es que el carro de la mayor, que son los patines que van por el palo de la mayor, se les bloqueó el mayor, con lo cual tenían cada vez que bajar el carro, tenían que subir arriba para bajar y subir el carro manualmente porque no podían hacerlo. Todo esto les decidió a parar en Nueva Zelanda. Estuvieron a punto de pensar en abandonar, pero dijeron finalmente que podían repararlo en Nueva Zelanda y se fueron a Nueva Zelanda a repararlo. En Nueva Zelanda se dieron cuenta de que habían roto unos tornillos de la quilla, con lo cual este fue también un problema muy grave. A este nivel, cuando arreglaron todo en Nueva Zelanda, volvieron a navegar, el barco se comportó muy bien, en Cabo de Hornos estuvieron haciendo promedios de 18 nudos, pero luego, subiendo por el Atlántico, volvieron a notar que los tornillos de la quilla se habían vuelto a fallar. Él cree que esto, 1000 millas después de Cabo de Hornos, estaban pasándolo muy mal, pensando en el barco, en cualquier cosa en aquel momento podía romperse, con lo cual les había generado mucha tensión, una tensión enorme hasta llegar aquí arriba al Mediterráneo, porque en cualquier momento estaban atentos a que cualquier crack en el barco se les podía representar el abandono de la regata. A este nivel opina que hay algo que no funciona en los tornillos de la quilla, es un tipo de material nuevo que no está todavía bien diseñado o bien terminado para poder aguantar ese tipo de esfuerzos. Y finalmente ha hecho realmente la explicación de lo han superado todo a base de trabajo y sobre todo agradecido a Konrad su inmejorable labor de compañero como compañero y sobre todo como técnico, ayudándole a reparar todo y a superar todos esos problemas que han tenido.
Well, Conrad, we know you had a lot of problems, even an injury. Can you tell us the bright side?
Of course, of course. In many ways, this was a voyage of discovery. Nando has explained that this was his comeback after so many years away from sea, and it was a test for him. For me, I have come to this world of ocean racing very intentionally. I changed my entire life in order to pursue races like this, and I was like many of you guys, you know, following the race since the first and second edition, going, wow, I want to do that. And then, so to be here and to try it out for myself is fantastic. And even though we did have problems with the keel, and as Nando explained, it's so beautiful to be out there and to be watching the sunsets and the sunrises and to be slipping along just pushed by the wind and to have dolphins come up and say, hi. And one of the things that I love about the sport is the fact that we went all the way around the world. We did 43,000 kilometers with 50, maybe 60 liters of diesel, and that's just to charge the batteries. And so for me, it's beautiful that we're sailing around the world with such a small footprint in such a green way. And then the high points are the flip side of all of the negatives as well. That there were so many times that our morale was crushed by the situation, and Nanda and I rose to the occasion each time, and we said, do we go to land or do we fix it? We fix it. And so many times we had this conversation, and each time we were able to stand back up and make it here. And so for me, this is the greatest upside. So.
Thank you. A Conrad Coleman le hemos pedido por el lado amable de la regata. Conrad ha dicho que para él ha sido el descubrir. Nandor ya nos ha contado que para él la vuelta al mundo ha sido un test. Conrad ha hecho hincapié en que él cambió su vida, su estilo de vida para dedicarse a esto, de la vela oceánica. Dice que desde la primera a segunda edición, desde que vio este tipo de regatas, quería estar aquí. Y es fantástico poder estar aquí. Dice, aún con los problemas como por ejemplo el de la quilla, es muy bonito estar allí fuera, estar allí navegando, ver las puestas de sol, las salidas, ver los delfines que te acompañan en la navegación y dar una vuelta al mundo y hacerla de esta manera, en un sentido un tanto también verde, ahorrando energía, es muy bonito. Dice, nuestra moral fue golpeada varias veces, muchas, y cada vez que nos golpeaba la moral y teníamos algo roto, discutíamos y decíamos, ¿qué hacemos? Vamos a tierra, arreglábamos y decidíamos arreglar, y lo arreglábamos. Y esto es lo bonito, haber superado todos esos contratiempos y haber terminado esta regata. Okay, thank you guys. Now we open to the questions to the public. We can do questions in Hungarian, in French. Anyone? I'm not going to translate Hungarian, I'm sorry. Neither the French. Maybe my friend Santi will translate some questions in French. Yeah. I know that you guys want to talk with Conrad and with Nandor, so please feel free to. It's like in the school, you know? You just raise your hand, ask for a microphone, and do a question. Come on, it's easy. If not, I can keep on asking. Nope, no one? Sure? 110 days, and no one has a question?
We explained everything too well in our writing.
Conrad, tell us where does the race take your career now then, and what did you learn for your future Vendée Globe?
I know where I would like it to take me. When I left university, I decided that I wouldn't use my economics degree, at least not directly. And I came to Europe, and first England, and then France, and now Spain, in order to pursue this dream. And so now 2 times around the world, and quite a few transatlantics. I think I'm in a good place to deliver technically on a project. I know which ropes to pull at the right time, and that's a good start. And then I'm very impassioned by sharing the stories from sea, and I think that, or I hope that I'll be able to convince a sponsor that I have what it takes on both sides to be an interesting prospect to have my own career. And I appreciate very much the invitation from Nandor to come and do this race with him. It's been a big sort of coming out for me, and I hope very much that the two of us can be on the start line on the Vendée together and sort of wave at each other as the gun goes bang the next time. So.
Nandor talks about self-discovery. What did you learn about yourself?
That you can go to a very dark place and you can come back. I think it was a big voyage of discovery for mental toughness. That I've always been an athlete, and I've always had the desire and the capacity to push myself really, really hard. And this was an interesting challenge for me because it was pushing myself as hard as I could in some cases, but also being really mindful of the team and the fact that we were working together. And and that we had to balance both of our desires and both of our wishes and capabilities. And it was a big learning for patience of how to learn from another person, how to live with another person in such an intimate environment for so long, and how to create a team from scratch. So.
And cast your mind back to the 31st of December. What were your thoughts at that point when you left the dock? Were you pretty sure you would finish? Were you 100% sure you would finish? Were you just completely open mind? What was your mindset and how did it change?
I think that we had such a whirlwind leading up to the start of the race that I just wasn't there. I wasn't mentally... When we crossed the start line, I wasn't mentally ready to cross the start line, and I certainly wasn't ready to think about the finish line. And that's a product of the preparation that we had in the race. And every single day has just been day by day by day by day by day, and eventually, if you go east far enough, you end up back where you started. And that's what we did. So, yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. And now for finishing the press conference, it's late. We know you will like to rest, to be with your families. Nander, it will be nice for our Hungarian friends if you can do a quick summary of the race for them in Hungarian.
Hát köszöntelek benneteket, kedves honfitársaim. Én most nem fogom itt elmesélni az egész történetet, mert lesz még erre alkalom, de nagyon-nagyon örülök nektek, hogy itt vagytok. Egy fantasztikus versenyen vagyunk túl. Én annak idején nem voltam teljesen biztos benne, hogy helyes döntés az, hogy neki megyek ismét így az óceánnak ekkora feladatnak, de utólag visszatekintve azt kell, hogy mondjam, hogy reális volt a vállalkozás, és a részletekről majd mesélek nektek sokat, mert rengeteg olyan van, amit érdemes elmesélni, nyilván azoknak, akiket ez érdekel. És rendkívül boldog vagyok, hogy eljöttetek, itt vagytok. Köszönöm szépen.
Okay, thank you guys, and now please step and let's do a picture of both of you.
La vida es chula.